pirates, can I take out money, pirates, all I want is money, pirates, can I take out money, pirates, all I want is money, pirates, can I take out.
Alright, welcome back bright and early, 4:08 AM to be precise. A couple of cornflakes, a bit of fruit and juice in the belly, and we're ready to get amongst it. It's our third day of the Vanuatu trip, so if you haven't checked out the latest video, hit the link up here. If you're here for the spearing, you're in the right place. Today I'm fortunate enough to be guided by Jamie, or Deeply Immersed on Instagram, and NF Islander on YouTube. Make sure you check him out, he posts some crazy content. Thankfully, he could squeeze me in for a day's diving out of Port Vila in some pretty good conditions. No mucking around today, he picked me up and we were off to get in the drink. A quick stop by his house to fill the esky with ice, hitch up the boat, and another hour's drive to get to the other side of the island, and we launched his sick little dive tinny. On the water for first light, we pulled up to the spot and I was frothing. And what are we looking for mostly at the start?
Just bait and life, and you'll probably see some jobbies and moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, enough said, and I was straight in the water. First of all, check out that viz. We're diving here at the first spot in about 10 to 15 metres of water, and you can see everything on the bottom. Time to load for the first time my brand new 120 Rob Allen carbon roller gun. I'm so frothing to use this thing. Thanks Fergo's Tackle World for sorting this out a few days before the trip. The sun hasn't even peeked over the horizon yet and we're already in the drink. And let's see how we go on our first drop. Time to stretch the lungs, wet the gills and get into it. Jamie did the first drop of the day just to see what was going on. As you can see, there's a bit of bait. And man, he has a set of lungs on him. He can stay down there the whole day. But it was my turn now. A nice gentle duck dive and a few grunts just above the bottom. I always like to hit the bottom. It's my preferred style of diving. I saw a few parrots and a lot of life, so it was time for a proper brief up. So we were diving the whole day, one up, one down, which is the safest way to dive. And whilst I was breathing up, Jamie shot this nice parrot, and we were using the guts as burley. So I took a dive on the burley trail, and let's see what happens. Hitting the bottom, trying to use anything to my advantage. So tucking up low in this crack to try and hide and see what comes in to check me out. A few grunts here and there is an effective way to arouse cagey fish to come in for a look. It was my second drop of the day, so my hunting was poor to say the least. I'm moving my head like it's on a swivel, but that doesn't stop this solid jobby from coming in for a look. Like what I've seen and been told, head straight down and start scratching. As you can see, I'm panicking, heart racing, full of adrenaline. I want this fish so bad. If only I kept calm and my head down. Hindsight, eh? Alright, here's my opportunity. Not sure what I saw there, but he turns broadside and bang, a shocking low shot. The drag was way too tight on my reel and rips the gun from my hand. Luckily, I had my load assist to grab. Unfortunately, due to the poor shot placement and the jobby sending it into the reef, my chances weren't looking good at landing this fish. Time to recollect my spear and line out the reef in this roaring current. No run, no fun, they say. A quick reload and redrift and we're straight back in there. Thanks Uric for putting us on the spot. The next few drops we noticed a lot of fish life. Active, up off the bottom, feeding. My diving was also much better, more relaxed and longer bottom times. It was only a matter of time before we ran into some good fish again. So you can notice Jamie on the bottom there. And I took a drop because I just noticed from the surface this spangled emperor looking fish is how I was thinking at the time. And yeah, this thing looked dumb. It was off the bottom, cruising around. I just dove straight onto it and it came straight up to me. And bang, long nose emperor. So should have shot it there, but I wasn't 100% sure what it was. And it's about now I'm thinking, crap, I really should have shot that fish. That was a long nose emperor, I'm pretty sure. But I was, not 100% sure at the time, and it's always best to let it go. But yeah, I was spewing. These fish are notoriously really hard to shoot, so I don't think I'll ever get an opportunity like that again. But yeah, we'll have to tick off the long-nosed emperor and it'll probably be a good hunt. Oh well, on a side note, this thing was pretty cool that attached to my leg. But yeah, we let him go too. I gave myself one goal for this dive, to get the monkey off my back. So I hit the bottom and did some grunting and scratching, and a nice parrotfish came in. After a bit of cat and mouse, I put a nice shot in and knew this was a great fish to give to Mac from last week's episode. These are one of the locals' favourites. So cool seeing all these big red bass swim around in the Burley Trail. This next dive we saw our first few sharks of the day. Not sure what this first one was. Here's a nice mangrove jack that comes in. Unfortunately he was just out of range and didn't hang around long enough to get a shot in, but it was cool to see my first mangrove jack. Jamie with some laser precision shooting, getting the 2 for 1 on this little bait ball. Now it's time to hunt moo. Head down, hold bottom and throw sand. These are such a tricky fish to hunt, always hanging out of range and very flighty, and when you finally got their curiosity and they start coming close enough, you've run out of oxygen. Check out this monster school, there must have been at least 30, but they were well out of range. This next hunt involves a midnight snapper, notoriously hard to hunt. As you can see, as soon as it sees me, it bolts off. So now we play the waiting game. Those few grunts seem to have done the trick, and it comes in for a second look. If I was a bit quicker, I probably could have got a shot off then. As he started darting off, I went for a pot shot. It probably helps if you don't have your safety on. Alright, time to dive the next spot of the day. So here we're diving this nice deep ledge. How's the sharks at this joint? Already buzzing the flasher, and we just got in the water. They'll definitely make hunting doggies a bit harder. After a few drifts not seeing much, this little jobby come in for a good look at all the commotion going on. A quick look back to assess the taxman situation, and I thought I'd be in for a good crack at this fish. Yes, how good's that? A good shot on a jobby. Finally. Oh wait, here comes Bruce. Yeah, there's not a good chance you're going to land a fish here unless you get a clean headshot and stone it out cold. This steep ledge here was perfect for doggies. Heaps of rainbow runner and fusies. The top of the reef is probably about 15 metres deep, and then it drops off to about 20 to 25 metres and beyond. Here's the first doggy that comes in. Of course it's as I'm resurfacing, but with all these silverback fringe whalers around, I don't think I was landing him regardless. This spot had so many sharks. Here Jamie had stoned a pelagic jacket fish, and it still got sharked. On to the next spot. After about 20 minutes or so diving here, out of the corner of my eye, I see a jobby. So I turn my GoPro on, put my head down and start scratching and grunting. That moo's also tempting. Curiosity killed the jobby. 3rd time's the charm. I was scroffing. A quick brain spike and bleed, and we released him straight into the esky. Wow, I was so stoked with that little hut. Straight after that, this school of rainbow runner rocked up. How's that for a shocking long shot? Anyways, time to play this fish very gently and see if we can land him. Jamie goes in for the second shot there, unfortunately misses. He's only pinned just in the back. How's the run on that fish? goes in for the third shot. Unfortunately misses again. Happens to the best of us, literally. Unfortunately we lost him and that fish is free to live another day. Oh well, we've got bigger fish to fry. Literally, it's lunchtime. Let's go. So we pulled up in this little bay. Not a bad spot for lunch. Awesome day diving so far. Hopefully you get some more fish to salvo. Eric, what are you making there?
Just making where we do the fire, and then we'll put the frying pan on and then fry the fish.
And we'll be eating good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Jamie filleted up his big moo that he shot earlier on in the day at the first spot. Eric got the fire going. Some moo for lunch. Looks delicious. And this moo was cooked up simple as. Jamie just threw a bit of coconut oil in the pan.
You gotta spend a lot of time
And that was it. Yummy, yummy. Cooked till golden and crispy. Then we threw it on some wraps. That is probably the best lunch you could ever have. So good. Fresh moo. After a bit of a rest to digest, we're back into it. Back to hunting moo. I swear I just shoot straight through these things. So here we're diving back at the first spot. It definitely wasn't as fishy as the morning, but I thought I'd take another parrotfish to give to some of the locals at the accommodation we're staying at. Oh, it got. Thank you. Burley. As expected, it started to turn on as it got dark. Resurfacing from that dive, I noticed out of the corner of my eye what I thought looked like another long-nosed emperor. Straight away I thought of redemption. So I followed it along the surface and took a quick dive. So yeah, that GT came out of nowhere. Scared the living daylight out of me. Definitely not the long-nosed emperor I was after, but I was stoked to see that thing. Full on hip fire and got him right in the bum. This thing was going hard. Hey! Absolutely spooling me. I probably didn't need to attach my belt reel, but the last thing I wanted was some butterfingers and lose my brand new setup. So better be safe than sorry. Big GT! GT! Now before I start copping flack from everyone for shooting this GT, the Pacific Islanders, especially the people of Vanuatu, absolutely love GTs. When I was speaking to Jamie and Yurik, they are more than happy to take one of these fish every now and then because they can feed so many people. I gave this fish to Yurik and he fed his family as well as sold a lot of it at the local fish market. No, I shot it. He charged at me and I shot and he turned. I only just got him. Careful, sharp. Time to sort out this mess and do a couple more drops before it turns pitch black. All the guts and gills are used for burley. None of this fish went to waste. Alright, last drop of the day. Didn't see too much, it started getting really dark and spooky. But here's a couple small jobbies. Yeah, that was good. I saw some tiny little jobbies there. Like that big. Yeah. Pardon? Yeah.
Are you coming closer to?
Oh, they were right in front of me. I could have shot them, but I was holding off. And that was it, a day diving with Jamie in Vanuatu. what an experience. I learnt so much that day. So stoked. I hope you all enjoyed it. A little bit of a different video. Hopefully do some more videos like this. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And make sure you stay tuned for another day's diving and the rest of our Vanuatu adventures.